Right, okay, we're going to have a wee look at factorising trinomials where the coefficient of x squared is greater than 1. So in this case, I've chosen 4. I could have chosen 2 or 3, but usually using 2, it's kind of easy enough, you can kind of puzzle it out. So I'm going to have a wee look at 4, because when you're working with 4, numbers like 4, 8 and 12, it's going to get quite sizable. So it's ideal to look at this kind of method when doing it. When looking at these types of questions, the learner's initial reaction would be to come over here and they're thinking we need to make something to do with the 12. So they'll write minus 12 up here and they'll try and find two numbers that multiply to make negative 12. I can tell you, because your coefficient is 4, you're not going to make negative 12 with the two parts of your equation. Of your quadratic, you are going to make 4 multiplied by minus 12. That's what you're looking for. That's the type of thing you're looking for. So you're actually looking for negative 48, two numbers that multiply to make negative 48 and add to make positive 8. So again, you can start with your negative 148, 1 negative 48. You can work your way through. I'm just going to put a wee spoiler alert in here and go straight to plus 12, negative 4. So 12 multiplied by negative 4 gives you negative 48, and if you do 12 take away 4, that gives you positive 8, so that's what we're going to use. We're going to use these two numbers. Now, when writing out a trinomial, what I want to do is we're going to keep the 4x squared the same. We're going to keep the negative 12 the same, but instead of writing plus 8x, I'm going to write it with the numbers that we now have in here. So I'm going to have it as plus 12x, but then you have to, in order to get to 8, you need to take away your 4x. Okay. So all we've done there is rewritten the trinomial, but instead of writing 8x, I've written 12x minus 4x, and it's going to make this much simpler to factorise here. So all I'm going to do, this is the wee trick part, this is the part that you do this to make it simpler, and I'll show you where the mathematics comes from at the end as well. If you put a wee dotted line in there and imagine it as being two separate things that we want to factorise, okay? So we're going to look at now, instead of being the full thing, we're going to look at factorising 4x squared plus 12x, okay? And we're also independently going to look at factorising negative 4x minus 12, okay? And very, very quickly, you've got some quite simple things to factorise. So you can take out a 4x from the first one to give you x plus 3. And then you can factorise from the second one. I'm just going to keep that separated. You can take out negative 4, giving you x plus 3. Now the key here is that both brackets, if you have a look in here, both brackets we have are currently the same, which works out very well. And all you do now is you can now factorise this, so we can take out an x plus 3 from what we have, and that's multiplied by 4x in here and minus 4 there. So we've fully factorised our quadratic. Now the reason I really like this, it's more true to mathematics, because normally you begin with breaking brackets. You begin with your two brackets, okay? And I understand that there is the FOIL method, which is a quick way for people to understand. I'm not going to be speaking about that. I'm not going to be speaking about a shortcut. I'm speaking about the true mathematics side of it. So what you're doing is you'll be doing 4x multiplied by x plus 3, which we have in here, and negative 4 multiplied by x plus 3. So all we've done is we're actually starting to look at it going backwards. You split them up, you've multiplied them, you've tidied them up to give you that. Okay. All that is the exact reverse of breaking two brackets, which is why it's really, really good, because it illustrates the proper mathematics in it, and when multiplying two brackets together, but you're working in reverse, and it kind of stops them thinking about these little trick methods like FOIL, you know, which kind of mathematics. It's good for them for exam purposes, but mathematically it doesn't really mean too much to the learners. So the 4 steps here, what if you have the quadratic, instead of looking for things to make negative 12, you multiply it by the coefficient of x squared. You figure out your two numbers that add to make the middle term. You split it up, you factorise both sides independently, and it all starts to work out there and factorise quite nicely into 2 brackets. Now, it's very difficult doing this through video. Hopefully, this is a good illustration. It's not the best smartboard in the world, but I'm not complaining. So hopefully this illustrates a good method that you might be able to use and implement yourself to really properly teach the mathematics behind factorising 2 brackets. Thank you.